the boys, they wanted some lunch and loaded them up. I said, I'll buy you some lunch. You know, they've been sitting around doing their schooling and that kind of stuff. I said, I'll buy you some lunch. Let's go get lunch. And what do you want? And when they were little, they kind of grew up on Quiznos. Quiznos is the sandwich place that, toasty. They used to run their sandwiches open faced through a conveyor toaster, and that was their big gimmick. Their big shtick was it was toasted. And anyway, when I had them at the shop downtown, they ate there a lot, so they kind of grew up with Quiznos. So anyway, they wanted Quiznos. All right, so we go, loaded them up, we drove over to the Quiznos on our side of town, and we walked. As we're walking up, the lights, they've got brown paper over all the storefront, and can't see in. It's locked up, nobody there, and it was gone. It was out of business. And I did remember reading some weeks ago that Quiznos was the fastest closing franchise in the country. And there's a lot of people that, you know, they have different reasons. People say, oh, well, it's because Subway started offering toasted subs, and yeah, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if people that went to Subway go to, or if people that went to Quiznos go to Subway. I don't. But it reminded me of a story about Quiznos, and the story is not particularly climactic or anything. It's just kind of a mildly amusing at best. But it was I call it the beggars can be choosers, and it's an example where no good deed goes unpunished, I guess. But back when I was downtown, I was at one corner of the block, and then the Quiznos was at the adjacent corner. And so, like I said, we were there pretty regular, got to know the owner and that kind of stuff, and all the people that worked there. And I went in, and pretty regular. So one day I'm sitting in my shop, and this guy comes in, transient, hobo, homeless, whatever you want to call him, comes in, panhandler, beggar, whatever. And I'm not really too big on giving people money or anything like that. But this guy came in, and I can't remember, but he came in, and he had a tall, lean-looking dude. Looks like he was genuinely hungry. He came in, and he started with he had a story. I don't even remember what it was, but it was good. And I told the guy, I said, you know what? I said, are you hungry? And he says, I am hungry. And I said, all right, let's go over to Quiznos. I'll buy you a sandwich. I'll buy you a meal. I said, I'll feed you today. Oh, that'd be great, man. You know, that kind of stuff. So we walked down there, lunchtime, gets crowded. I said, I walk up to the counter with him, and I said, I'm buying for him. It's just whatever he wants, and I got a little bit of a stink eye from the girls that worked there because I recognized him, I guess. He was a regular guy in the area. And he orders this and that, and he's really animated. It's like, oh man, I don't want, what do you got? You got, oh yeah, put that on there. Oh, that'd be great. And when it got to the part where they're going to run it through the toaster, the guy lost it. And I mean, it was, no, don't toast it. And the girls behind the counter, they're just frustrated with him. They're frustrated with me. And the dude, his cheese had slipped off his cracker. The boy was nuts. But anyway, like I said, it's just hilarious that you go to buy a guy a thing, supposedly in need, and it's that deal. Beggars can definitely be choosers. And I don't know whether it's worth mentioning, but actually as I was leaving, there was a guy, suit and tie, buttoned up, real prim, sitting at one of the tables, and he had, I don't know what drove him to do it, but he decided that he had to tell me, had to take me aside. He says, that guy, he's like that because of decisions he's made. Aren't we all? So anyway, that's my mildly amusing story that got me to thinking about, it's just Quizno's going out of business. We currently have no Quiznos in this town. I think which is pretty interesting, town. I think our greater population, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000 people in this part of the county. So you'd think there'd be one, but we currently have 0 Quiznos. So they had a good run, I guess.